Actually, every week my security program.
Google your kid's name, or if you know your kid's nickname, or an Instagram, look into that. Because many of the kids, I mean, Facebook, like I said, is dying, but so many kids will have a good Facebook privacy and a bad one that they actually use. Or they have a couple of Instagram handles, a couple of Snapchat things. So look into everything you're doing, because what you're seeing might be one thing that looks great, but the real Snapchat or the real Instagram is totally different. We have one last thing. I don't know how many of you have kids going off to the high schools, and I can't put it up here because it's just not right for middle school age kids to see, but we have what's going on now at Stanford High West Hill, some competing groups of kids called the Stanford Nasties. And I have a screenshot today from the most recent one we got from one of the principals, and it's extremely graphic stuff can be sent. And we are going to be making probably numerous arrests for the high school kids once everything unfolds from what we're doing. But it's just I think they have a good idea, so we're hoping that will end it, but if it doesn't, we're going to be forced to step in, because some of the stuff they're putting up there is very graphic. So if the schools are doing their best to nip all on the bug. We thought we had it handled last week, but a new page got put up today. So we're trying to take care of that. But every day you think you got it under control, just something else pops up.
You know, another thing, as a parent, now I got two kids, one just graduated college, one going to college. Outside of the history, check their contacts. Go into contacts everyone and say, who's this person? I've never, who's this person? Because what they're doing now is they put different names.
Right.
Because if they're with their boyfriend, they don't want them to know that Jack is calling, so they call it Janice. But you gotta understand one thing, as innocent as that may sound, these names could be of other things that you have no clue about. So don't be afraid to go in their contact. Folks, all I can tell you is this, you know, like Jason said, and I was scaling, be a parent. I talk to parents all the time and say, well, I don't know what to do. Just be a parent. That's our responsibility, is to be a parent.
If you don't like it, get involved and check everything out and look at stuff. Question them, who's this, who's that, and that's what you can do.
Can I just share something here that I finally discovered has changed our family life? After playing nice and alarm system and whatever, you can get a safe that has a hole cut out in the back so they can charge their devices overnight, but it's safe. Because that was the last thing I had to wait. Because they were complaining that they can't charge their devices. It's better for us, the parents, and it's better for the kids. They're not thinking about, oh, how can I sneak it? Where did they hide it? Like, all of it's gone, we have like peace back in our home. So know that there are solutions for whatever excuse that you're doing why they can't do it.
Did you say it was safe?
A safe,
Safe with a hole in it to charge the phone.
right, because that was the last piece that I couldn't figure out how to not, because I'm not trying to be mean,
Where did you
but
purchase that?
Amazon, would you like me to send you the link? I want to send
No,
you the
some
link.
other people might.
Great job. Yeah.
No, I have my 6-year-old, so she was stealing mine. So now I left mine up until she was 10.
That's all I have. Is there any other questions?
Do you ever have problems with kids who are like offline most of the time, unless they need to be? I mean, is there any kind of relationship or connection?
I mean, we
Are
have
they
problems.
ostracized?
Do you ever get those
All walks of life, you're online, offline.
messages on Skype?
Online is a part of what we do.
Contact
So
requests.
once again, it's very, you know, we deal with many kids that are totally like isolated, are not online either. So it all depends on the kid's situation.
How much prevention are you doing? You know, we A lot of people we haven't seen
Literally.
And again, I was explaining that we used to go around to almost all middle schools and high schools, and even some of the 5th grade schools. Yeah, we can do it, right. Now, again, everything's tied into
Online.
Here are not the hard.
Started sending me
Our buddies are
automated texts trying to get me on a
Under the past, we used to, there was money that was available to go up the catfish. Under this one, it's just been drastically cut. These are few and far between with what we have. But you're right, years ago, we would get every school in Stanford basically.
So really,
I don't give any information like
Right, it's not gonna happen. No. That's just the way it is. Different things change, so. Anything else? Sure. Right. Minecraft, so that was when they were able to open the link and siphon money out of the account. Otherwise, now we haven't heard anything, bullying or anything like that. That was only really one that was extreme. But I mean, it's really prevalent in the boys' Minecraft, and also war, things of that nature. But we haven't heard anything here in Stanford, guys taking that to the next step and going out and doing really horrible things. I know in other communities it has happened, but we haven't dealt with that here. In other communities, sometimes, you know, the game can get really intense, Minecraft games, World War, all of those, and the kids might, I forget where it was, I want to see it was in Glendale, California, but I couldn't go, it was a middle school kid, and he just took it to the next level, actually attacked it with, I don't know if it was a sword or something in school, like the next day after that, playing the night before. We haven't had anything close to that in Stanford at all like that, but other, you know, it does happen in other places.
Just to, for the prevention, if you go on to ct.gov/DCF, that's the Department of Children and Families, there are quite a few links on there for bullying, cyberbullying, and other resources that you can read yourself or share with your children.
And if you ever have any questions with DCF, their office is right in the mall, you know, they can answer your question, they're pretty good at answering your question and get back to you.
Stanford, Massachusetts, is this cyberbullying or?
It's really, no, it basically a form of sexting, because they're posting nude pictures, and they're trying to outdo, one's trying to outdo the next. So we'll start off with maybe one picture became this one, and then it might have included an act and the next one, and this one had to do a different act. So we're just trying to get a handle on that, and we have it under control now. That would be a form of sexting. You can set up any kind of thing online, whether it be an Instagram account with your sharing or a site. And a lot of these kids are really smart. So what they do is they'll change the site on a daily basis. So maybe the site might be one thing one day, and then the next time the word will get out somehow, whether it be Instagram, whatever, and then the next time that site goes up, it's a different site. So that makes it a little hard to follow and check. Also, you could buy apps on the Apple, App Store, where I could buy an app for like maybe $5, and it would give me a fake phone number for 24 hours. So I can shoot off all kinds of texts and messages and pictures, and we'll come back to a spoofed phone number. We see that a lot with the kids too. They can buy an app for $5, do all kinds of stuff. Eventually, we will be able to backtrack those numbers and the account that's paying for them, but it does take a while to backtrack. But we see that too with a lot of kids that might want to get, even at somebody, or send out a picture they know is not good, they'll buy the fake number and use that number for 24 hours, and then when you send something, it will show a fake number and reverts back to your real number.
There has been, already hazing events happening in the district. Obviously, those things will be negotiated and you can confirm that that is happening.
We right now have no current investigations into hazing at the high school. I can say that. If we did, I couldn't give you specifics, but we don't. I mean, if somebody came forward, obviously, then we would look into it. But again, a lot of stuff, I forget, those high schools are big. There's a lot of stuff going on there. So we only know what we're being informed about, and what our SROs happen to hear about, what security hears about and relates to us. So we might get 50% of what goes on and miss the other 50%. If it's something that's major, we'll usually know about it. If it's something that's hazing, unless that person comes forward, there's a good chance that maybe we won't know unless somebody witnesses it or films it and it gets to us.
Just so I can kind of bring it back to some of the middle school stuff, I know some of these things you're addressing on school year. So we do a lot of silent bullying as well. The technical term of silent bullying is for the kids here, you're going to sometimes get a text or a message that's hurtful. All right, and you may make, at that point, you're going to come to a decision to either respond, let it go, and or talk to an adult about it. I'm urging you to talk to an adult about it, and definitely let it go. If the issue is the back and forth that I frequently deal with, about when you receive that, sometimes it's anonymous, sometimes it is from someone that you know, and it's upsetting, and it's going to upset you. And so, regardless who it's from, the most important thing is that you do not react quickly. It's that you take a moment. The best thing to do is to let it go. Talk to an adult, but you do not react and respond emotionally right away, because you are then going to implicate yourself, and then it goes back and forth, and then you both become not only the victim but also right. So That's more of the issue that I deal with in our building, and then sometimes it escalates, right? So it becomes verbal, and then sometimes it becomes physical in the building. That's very few and far between. But so for the kids in here, just when that type of stuff happens, please include an adult. Talk to your parents. If that doesn't happen because it's in school, come find an adult, and we will resolve the issue civilly. We will resolve the issue face to face. We'll have mediation, and we'll deal with it like we deal with any other type of conflict that's going on with the students. So that's the main one for us. Now, if it continues, then it becomes possibly some other kind of consequence for the person who get the message the first time. Parents, I would strongly urge you, again, just that whole proactive piece, look at the language your kids are using when they're talking to each other. It is unbelievable how different some of the kids are in the building when they're talking to each other, when they're talking to an adult. They're the kindest, sweetest kids. And then when you see what's written in text or back and forth to each other, you think it's a completely different person. You won't even understand what some of the language is. And so if you're monitoring and you're on top of that and you're having conversations with your kids and you're being nosy and you're inserting yourself, that's what you need to do. Because some of that language is not, it's not appropriate at all. It doesn't help the situation. Many times there's an identity issue going on there. Why are you having that? Why are you using that language? And so if you're doing that, it'll, when someone speaks to them in that way, their response will have your voice there. And at least at bare minimum, instead of them responding in the same way that they've just been spoken to, they'll at least use a little bit different language, less hurtful language, appropriate language. And that'll cause it to not escalate, but de-escalate. So those are the kind of things that I would appreciate some of the parents doing, and then in our realm, we'll definitely message the same thing. All right, I don't know if you had some more that you wanted?
No, I'm all done. If there's any questions, this is the phone to our unit. If you have any issues, questions, feel free to call us. Like I said, myself or Sergeant Kennedy's in there, and usually the investigators that are working.
Do you do this presentation in the school?
It depends on.
Clearly you are, I mean, this is.
Actually, this is a huge turnout, huge compared to the main school. This is a tremendously big turnout.
It's the kids that we hear
So,
directly.
we do it in a lot of schools. We haven't done it in a lot of schools recently, but we used to do it in almost every middle school. I think one year we hit every middle school, every fifth grade in the city one year. That was a couple years ago. But it depends on the school and the principal, and again, the PTO or whoever's
Or
involved.
the parents ask the principals to invite you, how does it happen?
Yeah, if the parents want to ask for PTO, or
What about it?
as long as the principal doesn't want to, we're good. You know, like, I have to stress too, not just because Principal Sand here, we have a very good relationship with all the principals in town, and our goal is not to go in and arrest kids, especially at the middle school level. We always prefer the school handles it. There are those rare circumstances in the middle school age where we have to get involved with something happening. High school is a little bit different, but the middle schools, we don't make, I can't even tell you. We really don't make a lot of arrests at all at the middle school. Right? At the top of my head, I can't even, maybe one a year at each school, if that, and that's if.
Look, it's school, it's a sandbox. Kids are supposed to make mistakes, and they're gonna make those kind of mistakes, and that's kind of a common mistake that's made where that exchange happens. Because it's so easy, you just hit send button. You know, there's no human part of it there, and because of that absence, it's very easy for a kid to just hit send.
And here you're fortunate because you have the SRO with ASP, Rick Sheeran, SRO, so he can nip a lot of things. He's not here, he's an older guy, he's kind of a jovial man, Carl Fredette. So, and he's not here to harm anybody, so, but he's a good conduit and get in the middle and talk to the kids, he's a grandfather, and, so that's a person you have here, he can nip a lot of things in the bud before they get it, so before we can work with principal and staff. And we do get a lot of phone calls from principals during the day, and we always try to make sure, if the school can handle it, we'd rather see that and get involved. Certain times we don't have a choice because if the court mandates certain things, then we have to act on their behalf. But otherwise, we just try not to get involved, with the middle school.
So just, many of the parents here, I imagine your children, but if you can maybe think, if you can represent some of the families that aren't here, if you can just give give me a thumbs up if you think this is something we should do in the school for all the kids. Just give me a show of hands, right? Thumbs up? Okay. So that's how we make decisions around here, right? So I can promise you this, that I'll make that happen. We'll try to fit it in by the end of this year. And if we can't fit it in at the end of this year, which I know in your mind you say, well, why can't you just carve out an hour? We just had an excellent assembly yesterday for Black History Month, and then 2 weeks ago we had an excellent assembly for music, our music concert. So what happens is the teachers start to bump it into their curriculum, and they want your kids to learn everything that they can. So I do want to include the teachers in that before I make any promises about it definitely happening this year, but I'll try. If it doesn't happen this year, it'll be something that we do at the beginning of next year. All right? Any last words, thoughts?
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate it. Okay, so, for those of you who have an interest in being a little bit more involved, we got two groups out there. Just stop by the PTO table.
You knock on, man. How could you?